character and show you how that works in the overall construction of the finalized character. So I'm going to be moving through this relatively fast, but the great thing about this being a video is you can back things up and, you know, go at your own pace. What I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to be drawing the construction lines in a different color from the finalized version, so that way you guys can see what it looks like underneath. So with this character, I'm just going to be going shoulder up, and for the purposes of just showing expression in the face. And I'll be doing this character a little more this week, doing some full body kind of characters, so that way you can see how to do like a full body cartoon character. But just for today, it'll just be from the shoulder up. So I've got my blue pencil here. Let's get rid of that. The first thing I do is I kind of get an idea about which way he's looking. So for Bill, he's going to be looking kind of like up like this. So let's see. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but I start with doing some pretty light outlining. Now, if you notice what I'm doing, is I'm doing strokes. Just kind of getting it where I want it to be. It doesn't really matter if it's messy. It's not a huge deal, because this is not the final version. But this is how Bill starts out. I'm going to go kind of down to here. And then I've got a good idea about where he's at. Just kind of changing the lines as I go, getting it exactly where I want. Now, this is going to sound a little strange, but this is his head and neck. And that doesn't really look like it, but it will here in a bit. So the next part is I need to figure out how big is his head. Well, his head is going to be pretty large. It's going to be kind of here. So I start drawing an oval. Just kind of get an idea about where I want his head to end and begin. Just kind of get an idea about where I want his head to end and begin. Just like that. So his head's like this. You can see my cursor. His head is this big in there. Now, since he's kind of looking this way, it's probably the wrong direction with your vantage point from the camera, but kind of looking up like this. So he's going to be looking this way. Okay? So the center of the face isn't going to be, you know, here. It's going to be a curved line right about there. Keep going. Oh, that's not what I want. There we go. So this is the line to indicate the center of the face. And then I'm going to have a eye line. Now, I know a lot of you guys have learned that the eye line is kind of the center. This is a cartoon character. His eye line is slightly higher than that. Just slightly. Okay. Now I've got this here and a line to indicate the center between this and this line. And just for my purposes, a little line here, a little line there. For Bill, draw a little circle right there to indicate the center and how far I want, how much space I want in between the two eyes. So Bill has like that. There. And since we have him looking in the direction he is, this eye right here is going to be slightly wider than this one over here. So now I want to do the nose, and the nose is going to be in this region right here. So just to get a good idea about where it's going to be, I draw that out. Okay. And this is just to get me started to figure out where things are going to be at. So got the nose right there. Eyebrows are going to be up here. I know the mouth is going to be right here on this line. So just to indicate where the mouth starts, boom, boom. So we got that right there. So now I've got basically what I need. I've got the construction of the head, the neck, and a basic idea about where things are going to go. And keep in mind that if you look at where my cursor is at, I'm mostly this is just a guide for where to start the eyes. I can manipulate what the eyes are looking like. So, and when I say that, I mean I can change what the eyes look like. I don't have to stick to the structure 100%. It's just something to kind of help me to know where I'm going to be, where things are going to be. So Bill's eyes are always slightly down. Just like that. Okay, so I've got his eyes in there, and this will actually come out like this. And then I can go ahead and, get his eyebrows. I like to make the eyebrows thick, so I kind of keep going with that. Now I'm going to get the nose, that big schnoz he's got. Okay. Bring this out. That. Get a nostril in there. Now what I want you to pay attention to is where I'm drawing lines in relation, or where I'm drawing parts of his face in relation to where I've got the construction line. So that's a really important thing to pay attention to. So if you see this center line right here, I've got the nostril right about there. Okay? Just like that. I'll show you why. But start of the jaw, I'm not going to draw anything here. I'm just going to draw his chin. And with the construction lines in the way, it's a little hard to tell what this is all serving. But as I'm going, I don't want his head to look exactly that round. I change the shape of it as I go. Just like that. There we go. Now I'm going to start working on the neck. Just get those lines in there. Just like that. So now at this point, I want to get the hair in there. He's got some funky hair, if I remember right. So the way I do hair is I like to use little strokes. So kind of just like this. Here we go. We'll kind of get this up here. Now, for those of you who don't know, cartooning is kind of my specialty. So this is why I'm kind of starting these direct draws with cartooning. Okay, so I've got the hair kind of worked out here. I can still see those construction lines. So now at this point, I've got to decide when is the hair going to end and when are you going to start to see more of the skull. So I'm kind of just making a decision. It's like that seems to look a little natural, just like that. And here I'm just adding in strands of hair. Just like that. You can even have some sticking out. And then we've got the start of the forehead. Just like that. There we go. And indicate the neck. Now I'll show you kind of what's happening here. Let me completely get rid of those blue lines. You can start to see what this is looking like without those blue lines. But then when we add the blue lines back in, maybe, there we go. You can see how everything's working, okay? So at this point, now all I got to do, oops, one sec. Go back here and get the black. So now I'm just getting the shoulders kind of in there. Kind of getting the shirt line, collar line rather, in there. Just like that. And just like that, indicating the shoulder right there, just getting a little line. And now I'm going to start adding in some fun little details. So the bottom lip is kind of a powder. I'm going to do this. The fun thing about cartoons is you get to exaggerate so much of the face. That's one of my favorite things about cartoons. Do this, like that. We always have this little thing right there. That. And I actually enjoy doing kind of the cheekbones. So I'll put that in there. But I've basically got him done. I'm going to actually go back and I'm going to get rid of these back here. And this is really the way I wanted him to look. So I'm really happy with how this is looking. Now I'm going to start adding some details that you can or can't do. It's really up to you. But this kind of helps give some texture to a whole bunch of stuff. Here. Start adding a few other things just to give him different. So I'm adding, he's a little bit of an older guy, at least when I knew him. So and this just gives indication about how old he actually is. So do this, share. Now kind of what I'm doing is some straight hatching with it. That about right there. Okay, and we'll add some shirt lines to that, just like that. Cool. This is Bill. So now what I'll show you here is I'll bring those blue lines back in. And bring them out all the way. So you can see how the blue lines, the construction lines, help to shape the cartoon. Again, you guys will be using pencil for the whole thing, but for purposes of demonstration, this kind of gives you an idea about where it starts to where it ends. Kind of like bring this in and out, and that's where it finishes. So go ahead and give this a shot. Try to draw Bill, and try drawing him in a the way you think he should be drawn. But I highly encourage you to go back in the video, follow along with what I did, and pause the video when you need to slow down a little bit. But try to do Bill in the way you want, and then try to draw your own characters, or try to draw Bill in different positions, looking in different ways, and challenge yourself and whatnot. So I think that's it. Bill's a little grumpy right now, so I'm gonna put him away, and we are good to go. So anyways, I will be bringing you some more videos as the weeks go on, but I hope you guys are healthy and at home and enjoying the more relaxing time that you have with your family. So anyways, thanks guys.